Good afternoon, everybody. It is a twofer Tuesday today. If you haven't watched my first video, which I did this morning on Revolver, go ahead and find that on my Facebook page, or if you've subscribed to my YouTube channel, that would be the most recent video. But I figured since I had a little bit of time and we're dealing with the psychedelic period of the Beatles, I thought I would also do Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band today. This was when the Beatles stopped touring and they decided to become a studio band. This was pretty much a Paul project that he conceived this whole notion or this whole idea of this fictional band, and they would kind of be portraying different characters. And this was really kind of like one of the first concept albums. I think that title goes to the Pretty Things, SF Sorrow, but this is certainly one of the forebears of the concept album. There are 13 songs, all original, and I will be ranking my least favorite to favorite. This is also the first time in the Beatles canon where the UK and the US releases were the same, and they would continue on in that fashion until their very last release, which was the Let It Be album. So I'll be starting with my least favorite track and finishing with my favorite. Starting with number 13. I alluded to this earlier this morning when I was doing the Revolver track, Love You Too, but typically the Indian raga or sitar-based songs are kind of boring to me. I respect it and I appreciate it for the variety it brings, but my least favorite song is George Harrison's Within You, Without You. I do prefer this over Love You Too, which is on Revolver, and then of course a B-side, The Inner Light. This is my favorite of the three, and it sounds really cool if you have this awesome stereo system. But I don't know, it just bores me. I know some people really like this song, and some people really like that style, but to me this is such a great album, and it's the low point. Number 12, She's Leaving Home. It's a beautiful song. It's super produced. It might be like one of the best produced songs on the record, and I love the chorus when John and Paul kind of go back and forth on that. She's leaving. I love that, but I don't know. It's just kind of a boring song. It's slow and meanders, but beautiful orchestration. But something's got to go at number 12. Number 11. Good Morning, Good Morning. I hate the rooster at the beginning of this song, and it reminds you of like a cornflakes commercial, which is where John got the inspiration from. I like that middle section that speeds up, but yeah, this song is definitely one of the weaker ones. There's no way this could be anywhere other than the bottom half or bottom third. So that's my number 11. Number 10. It's the Sgt. Pepper reprise, and it's fine. It's just, you've heard it once already, and it's short. I do like the kind of beat to it, but yeah, there's better songs on the album. So that's my number 10. Number 9, When I'm 64. I do like the little pop ditties or the music hall style songs that Paul does on the albums, like he does Martha My Dear on the White Album, as well as Honey Pie. I really do like these ones. This one apparently he wrote when he was like a teenager or very young, maybe even like 12, 13, 14. And I really liked it when I was younger, but there's stronger songs on here. But it's a fun one. Number 8. The title song, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. It's a rocker. It's a fun song. And this song, is one of the greatest albums of all time. It's not my particular favorite Beatles album, but there are 7 songs, in my opinion, that are stronger. But it kicks off the album with a bang. It's important. It's essential. It's a classic. Number 7, Lovely Rita. Fun little song. Like it a lot. It's got some cool background instruments, some George Martin tinkering, and Paul actually was behind the engineer booth quite a bit as well. It's a fun song. It's a good middle of the road in terms of quality, and it's my number 7. Number 6, Fixin' a Hole. So there's 2 songs on this record that I think have like this kind of circusy feel to it, which is part of the concept. And Fixin' a Hole is my lesser of the 2, but I like them both. And I love the bass work on this song. Paul's bass on Fixin' a Hole is fantastic. If you just listen to that, it's really awesome. It's a very underrated song. I know a lot of people probably rank this at the very bottom or near the bottom, but to me, I think it's like right in the middle in terms of quality. All right, number 5. Speaking of circus songs, this is the other one that's kind of a circus. Well, this one is very much a circus song because John based it on a circus poster. He took all the lyrics from this poster that he had, being for the benefit of Mr. Kite, Pablo Fankus Fair, Henry the Horse, Dancing the Waltz, jumping through a hogshead of real fire. I mean, it's creepy too, and it's got this minor creepiness to it, and I love when it goes into the waltz time. It's got the calliope in it. It's just a great song, and I really like 5 and 6 a lot. And I know a lot of people don't particularly care for these songs, but I wouldn't say they're my favorites, but I rank them at the middle or slightly elevated from the middle. Number 4, we're going to give Ringo a little bit of love here, because I think this is his best performance on any Beatles song, vocally, with a little help from my friends. I do prefer the Joe Cocker cover version of this, but I also really like this version too. And I love how it obviously just syncs right from Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. And like I said, it's his best vocal performance. It's a great fun sing-along track too if you're with some friends. So there you go, with a little help from my friends. Now we're in the top 3. And all 3 of these songs are mixtape, over the years, standards, staples. Number 3, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. It's also the 3rd track. It's a perfect song. Mixes pop and psychedelia, and it's got that great sing-along chorus. I love the instrumentation on it, kind of like the synthesized harpsichord. Yeah, it's just a fantastic song. The imagery is just out of this world. I'm not usually a lyric guy either, but the imagery it just paints this beautiful picture, and it's a classic song. Number 2. This is a surprise. I know a lot of people probably put this in the middle, I would say. I don't think anybody would put this towards the bottom, but don't probably have it as their number 2. Getting Better. It's getting better all the time. And I love the juxtaposition of the verses, how Paul is, this really optimistic, got to admit it's getting better, a little better all the time. And then John comes in with, it can't get much worse. And even Paul's verse to John's verse, which, there's night and day. One is so optimistic, and one is John's like real, dark sense of humor. So that's my number 2. Love the song, love the lyrics, love the feel. And now number 1, my favorite Beatles song of all time. It's an epic song. You know what it is. A Day in the Life. You got the awesome John verses. You got the really emotional orchestral build-ups in between. You've got that cool little mid-section that Paul wrote that was supposedly written, an uncompleted song. And then, bookends again with the John verse, and then you got that orchestral build-up, and then you got that chord that just rings out, and then even the inner groove, that goofy, weird soundscape that happens in the inner groove. Just the whole song is an absolute masterpiece. It is the Beatles' best song, in my opinion. And I've said that, I think, since I was in 9th grade. I think that was really the first time that when I was really listening to the Beatles, like constantly, like 3 or 4 hours a night, I think I came to that determination that A Day in the Life was my favorite song by the Beatles and my favorite song of all time. And I think it still holds true. So it gets the red. So those are the rankings of the Beatles songs off Sgt. Pepper. They are, starting with 13, Within You, Without You, She's Leaving Home, Good Morning, Good Morning, Sgt. Pepper, The Reprise, When I'm 64, Sgt. Pepper's The Title Track, Lovely Rita, Fixin' a Hole, Being for the Benefit of Mr. Kite, With a Little Help from My Friends, and then my top 3, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, number 2, Getting Better, and A Day in the Life. Once again, if you like these videos, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit the bell for notifications, and leave comments below on what your favorite songs are off of Sgt. Pepper's. Tomorrow we visit Magical Mystery Tour, another favorite album of mine, and one that, well, we'll talk about it tomorrow. Have a good day.